Nourishment of a Soul by Chuang. My life has a limit, but my knowledge is without limit. To drive the limited in search of the limitless is fatal, and the knowledge of those who do this is fatally lost. In striving for others, avoid fame. In striving for self, avoid disgrace. Pursue a middle course. Thus you will keep a sound body and a sound mind, fulfill your duties and work out your allotted span. Prince who is cook was cutting up a bullock. Every blow of his hand, every heave of his shoulders, every treat of his foot, every thrust of his knee, every sh of rent flesh, every sh of a chopper was in perfect harmony, rhythmically like the dance of a mulberry grove, simultaneous like the chords of a Ching show. "Well done," cried the prince, "yours is skill indeed." "Sire," replied the cook, "I have always devoted myself to Tao. It is better than skill. When I first began to cut up bullocks, I saw before me simple whole bullocks. After 3 years' practice, I saw no more whole animals. Now I work with my mind and not with my eye. When my senses bid me stop, but my mind urges me on, I fall back upon eternal principles. I follow such openings or cavities as there may be, according to the natural constitution of the animal. I do not attempt to cut through joints, still less through large bones. A good cook changes his chopper once a year because he cuts, an ordinary cook once a month because he hacks. But I have had this chopper 19 years, and although I have cut up many thousand bullocks, is as if fresh from the whetstone. For at the joints there are always intestines, and the edge of a chopper being without thickness, it remains only to insert that which is without thickness into such an intestine. By these means the intestines will be enlarged, and the blade will find plenty of room. It is thus that I have kept my chopper for 19 years as though fresh from the whetstone. Nevertheless, when I come upon a hard part where the blade meets with a difficulty, I am all caution. I fix my eye on it. I stay my hand and gently apply my blade until the part yields like earth crumbling to the ground. Then I take out my chopper and stand up and look around and pause until with an air of triumph I wipe my chopper and put it carefully away. "Bravo!" cried the prince. From the words of his cook I have learned how to take care of my life. When Ye Xian of the Kung Wen family beheld a certain official, he was horrified and said, "Who's that man? How come he to lose a foot? Is this the work of God or of man?" "Why, of course," continued Ye Xian, "it is the work of God and not of man. When God brought this man into the world, he wanted him to be unlike other men. Men always have 2 feet. From this it is clear that God and not man made him as he is. Now, wildfowl, get a peck once in 10 steps, a drink once in 100. Yet they do not want to be fed in a cage, for although they would thus be able to command food, they would not be free." When Lao Tzu died, Shi went to mourn. He uttered 3 yells and departed. A disciple asked him, saying, "Were you not our master's friend?" "I was," replied Shi. "And if so, do you consider that as sufficient expression of grief at his loss?" added the disciple. "I do," said Shi. "I had believed him to be the man of all men, but now I know that he was not. When I went in to mourn, I found out persons weeping as if for their children, young ones wailing as if for their mothers. And for him to have gained the attachment of those people in this way, he too must have uttered words which should not have been spoken, and dropped tears which should not have been shed, thus violating eternal principles, increasing the sum of human emotion, and forgetting the source from which his own life was received. The ancients called such emotions the tremors of mortality. The master came because it was his time to be born. He went because it was his time to die. For those who accept the phenomenon of birth and death in this sense, lamentation and sorrow have no place. The ancients spoke of death as of God cutting down a man suspended in the air. The fuel is consumed, but the fire may be transmitted, and we know not that it comes to an end.